On the second day of Christmas. Welcome back to another 12 Days of Baking with Crystal vlog. This is day number 2. It is December 2nd. We are so excited that you could be here today. Today we are going to make a fan favorite of Starbucks fans and also Disney Cruise fans. Today we are going to make Cranberry Bliss bars. If you are new around here, welcome. I am Crystal, one half of For Love of the Mouse, and I'm going to be doing a 12 Days of Baking with Crystal series for December. Be sure to click that subscribe button if you're not subscribed to our channel. Click that like button if you like what we're doing and you like holiday baking, and click that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we release a video. If you missed our video yesterday, be sure to go check it out. We will link that below for 12 Days of Christmas or holiday baking. Without further ado, let's just get started. For this recipe, you are going to need your mixer. You're also going to need a 13 by 9 inch baking dish that is lined with parchment paper. You're going to need butter, flour, baking powder, cream cheese, craisins, white chocolate chips, eggs, vanilla, ginger, an orange, flour, sugar, butter, and salt. You didn't get all of that? That's all right. We have a blog post to go with all of these 12 days of holiday baking that will detail everything you need to know and step-by-step instructions for how to bake these and all of our other 12 days of baking vlogs as well. If you're ready to get baking, let's get started. Don't forget your 13 by 9 inch pan. I have already lined mine with parchment paper. I'm also going to line it with baking spray. You just want that extra insurance that it's going to come out at the end. I'm going to set that aside, and I already have over here 1 cup of melted butter. Start off in our electric mixer, we're going to combine our 1 cup of melted butter, which is 2 sticks, with 1.5 cups of brown sugar. You always want to pack your brown sugar, and I just pack mine right in the measuring cup. A little extra gets in there, it'll be all right. A little extra brown sugar never hurt anybody. We're going to grab our paddle attachment and we're going to beat this until it's smooth. So we've been beating this for just about 1.5 minutes, and as you can see, it kind of has a caramely look and texture to it, and that's exactly what you want. So now we're going to move forward with some of the other ingredients. So we have added our orange zest, which is the zest of 1 orange. We've added our ginger, we've added our baking powder, our eggs, and we are now moving on to our flour. So I'm going to take my sifter. This is my great-grandmother's sifter, and I'm going to take 2 cups of flour. This is also my great-grandmother's measuring cup. Into my sifter. You don't have to sift your ingredients. In fact, most recipes nowadays don't call for sifting, but I've always found that sifting your ingredients just makes for a better dish. It makes for a better baked good. So I always find that taking just a minute to sift your dry ingredients is well worth it. So now we have our flour sifted. We're going to turn our mixer on low and add in our flour. Now you want to mix everything until you get to your dry ingredients really, really well and make sure everything is thoroughly combined. But once you add your flour and your dry ingredients, you want to mix until just combined. You never want to over mix your dough because that's going to cause your baked good to turn out tough, and nobody wants a tough baked good. So our ingredients are just combined, and next we're going to add our craisins, which are dried cranberries. You could also add dried cherries, and we're also going to add our white chocolate chips. You can either add these into the mixer and mix just a couple of times, or you can do this by hand. You can also measure these, but I just like to eyeball it. All right, those are just combined, and now we're going to spread it into the bottom of our 13 by 9 inch baking dish. crust is out of the oven. This is a little bit of a small pan for this crust. You really want to use a 13 by 9, which is what it called for, but I just grabbed this one. So you want your crust to be a little bit thinner than this one, but this will work just fine because I love the crust. We've pulled this out of the oven. We're going to let it completely cool before we put our frosting on. Now I've already whipped up our frosting as you saw. So we did 8 ounces of softened cream cheese, and then we started with 2 cups of powdered sugar, and we whipped that up. And you want to start slow. As you saw, I did not start slow and we made a mess, but are you really baking if you didn't make a mess? Not in this house. So then I added the zest of 1 orange plus the juice of half of an orange into here, and then I added an additional 2 cups of powdered sugar, 1 cup at a time, and I mixed that well. So we're going to let, like I said, we're going to let these completely cool before we frost, and then we're going to put them into the refrigerator for about a half an hour before we slice them. So a little bit of a longer process, but totally worth it in the end. We have cooled our bars completely, and then I went ahead and frosted them and topped them with dried cranberries and white chocolate chips. So this is the finished product. What we want to do now is we want to make sure that we put these into the refrigerator for at least a half an hour to make sure that it firms up and hardens up before we slice it. That way the frosting doesn't come pouring down the sides, because if you've ever had one of these at Starbucks or on the Disney Cruise Line, you will know that the frosting is very firm. So we're going to pop this into the refrigerator for about 30 minutes, even an hour, and then we'll slice it up. And what you want to do is slice it up diagonally, and voila, there you have it. The Cranberry Bliss bar from Starbucks and also from the Disney Cruise Line. If you've never been on a Disney cruise and you're wondering where on the Disney Cruise Line you can get this, you can find it at Cove Cafe, and they are actually complimentary. So the coffees at Cove Cafe are extra, but all of the treats in the cases are complimentary. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Baking with Crystal. Thank you for joining us for 12 days of holiday baking. We are so excited that you are here. Be sure that you tag us in any of the recipes that you try with your family this holiday season. Thank you again for being here today. Also, be sure to check out our previous vlog, our first day of Christmas, and be sure to stick around because we have so many more delicious things coming your way. If you're new around here, make sure that you click that subscribe button, click that like button if you like what we're doing and you like these holiday baking vlogs. Also click that bell notification so that you can be notified every time we release a video. Be sure to let us know in the comments if you've ever had a Cranberry Bliss bar and if you try these out and what you think. Happy holidays, everybody, from our house to yours. Thank you so much for stopping by, and for the love of the mouse, never forget that it all started with a mouse.